everybody. Today I would like to show you which coloring pages I've done from Karla Magana. Some of you requested that I do my completed pages because I am a huge fan of Karla and I have done quite a lot. So I have 4 books of her and some Patreon pages. So let's get started. The first book I have of her is Fashion Circus. This one is a quite recent one, so I did a few in this book. The first page I did is this one. So I mostly use alcohol markers, gel pens, Jelly Roll Moonlight, black pen, white jelly roll. So I'm not going to explain what I used in every page. So those are the frequent materials I used. If I used something else, I will tell you when the page is in frame. So in this one I used some glitter ink, so it was like an alcohol marker but with ink, so it bleeds through a little bit. It is from a dollar store I had here in Belgium. So in most Karla pages I use a color palette, or I try to pick 6 random colors and I try to make it work. So I think this one was a color palette. Then I did this one. I think this was random because the colors are not very fancy, so I used a lot of glitter glue also. The gold is glitter glue. The next one is, I think, a color palette. I used some elements in the background and I used a metallic gel pen on this one. All the rest is alcohol markers, glitters. So this is also one I added some elements. So the lines in the background, I think it is quite a while ago. So this is one I did. It's a female. It's a male, so it's something different. Here I was trying to experiment with the splattering effect with white and black acrylic paint. It wasn't a success. I hated the result, but it's yeah, it's something. So I did this one also with a lot of glitter. In this background I used some soft gel crayons, so I just bought them and I wanted to see how they worked. So they give a very nice effect. I'm not a huge fan of doing a whole background in alcohol markers because I have some cheap ones and they run out very quickly. So that's the reason why I mostly try to add some elements to the background, so I don't have the huge space to color everything. Or sometimes I leave it a little bit of white depending on what I think is going to look best. This is also a frame I added to save a little bit of my alcohol markers as well. So this was a very easy one. I added some elements in the background. So this was also done with the alcohol marker with some glitter. I don't have any idea how it's called. I don't have it anymore because they ran out. So this is also one. I think this is it because I was working in order in this book. Oh no, I have one more. It's this one and it was a monochrome color palette challenge. It was with green and clown, I think. So that's the reason why I did this one. Okay, so those are the pages I did from Fashion Circus. Then I did some pages in Eerie Patisserie. I bought this at the same time as Fashion Circus, I think. First one I did was this one. I think this was also a random color palette challenge, I think. Nothing fancy, just the usual materials on this page. I did this one with a lot of glitter in the hair. I like the framed images in this book, so I don't have to put a frame around it by hand, so I like this book very much, and also because it is fully colored, so I don't have to worry about the background. In this one I used some metallic paint for the first time, so the pink and the gold, I think it is metallic paint, so it was the first time I tested that one. I did this one. In this one, in the background, I tried to use for the first time my watercolors to see how it works on the Amazon paper. It gives a nice effect, but I will not do it again because the paper isn't made for water or a lot of water. So I did this one. I think this was a color palette with, I think, purple and yellow. This was a color palette challenge for Christmas, I think, with the gold, red and greens. On the skulls it is metallic paint, so I colored it with a yellow alcohol marker and then went over it with some gold glitter glue to give this shimmery effect. This is just gel pen, alcohol markers, jelly rolls, all the good stuff. In this one I used some metallic paints as well. All the rest is alcohol markers. And some metallic gel pen, the Uniball Signo copper, I think. So those are the ones from Eerie Patisserie by Karla Magana. Then this is the first Karla Magana book I had. It was also my third coloring book when I started, so I completed this one. So I'm going to show you every page, but in quite a speed. So mostly alcohol markers. I think this is March 2021 and I started coloring in February. So this is one of the first pages I ever colored. And I started coloring her pages because of her YouTube channel. So I saw her and she was very artistic and I liked it, so I bought a book of her. This is the first page I tried to use my Neocolor too. So I tried a galaxy background. Not a very good success on this paper, but it was okay. Glitter gel pen, alcohol markers. In this one I tried to use some glitter glue, I think, in the brown areas. Don't know if it is a good result, but it was a fun process. I think this was an ugly color palette challenge. I think I picked some random colors and I tried to make it work. I think the same in this one. So mostly in this book I used glitter, gel pens, alcohol markers and jelly rolls because I didn't have very much materials at the time. So this is a lot of the same materials. Here I added some lashes. I saw her do that on her channel and I wanted to try it as well. The same. This was a challenge I had to inspire from some food packaging. So this one is Nesquik. It is some powder to make some hot chocolate. And this was the box I was inspired by. So, fun challenge. The same alcohol markers and glitter gel pen. This was an ugly color palette challenge as well, I think. Here I added the lines in the background again to save my alcohol markers because they ran out very quickly because it were some cheap ones. Now I am replacing my alcohol markers by the Winsor & Newton Pro markers. The colors I use a lot. So yeah, that's it. Also a lot of glitter. So the same. I think this was a pastel color palette challenge or something. I'm not a huge fan of pastel colors, but for once in a while it's okay. This was a challenge to do as much opposites as I can. So I split the page in half, and then I used gold and silver, and I used reds and greens and whites and blacks. So that were the opposites of the challenge. I think it was a Facebook challenge on the Karla Magana coloring group, like this one. Same alcohol markers, gel pens, no glitter apparently on this one. Okay. So the same, lot of glitter. This was a color palette, reds and blues. This was also the alcohol marker with the glitter, and I tried some gemstones with white jelly roll. So I think this one was also done with the Neo Color 2s to create the galaxy background. I like this one. I like the busy style of Karla. So the more I am coloring her pages, the more busy I try to make it look. Especially the hair. It's a lot of work with the jelly roll, but I think it's worth it. This was also with a little bit of glitter glue on top of alcohol marker. This was done with soft gel crayons, but I think I tried to use them wet. So it isn't a great quality, so if I am using a wet medium, I try to use the Neo Color 2s, but I like the soft gel crayons dry. Wet, it wasn't a great success. This was the same. This is a fun one. I like from the dark to the light in the background. With this one, I did an alcohol marker background, and then I used a transparent alcohol marker and I colored some dots, and that gives the effect here in the background. All right. That's it. So this is my completed book, Start the Space Lust by Karla Magana. This is my latest addition to my collection, Deco Dolls. When she released this book, I was immediately in love, so I bought this one. I did quite a few pages actually. I think I have this book like 4 months. This is the first one, so I added the circle and the 2 circles, the green ones also, because this is a book with a lot of white space, and to save my alcohol markers I added a background. So this is just glitter gel pen alcohol markers. The same here. Instead of doing a whole background, I just added a border with alcohol markers to give it a little bit of an effect. I prefer this style. I like the full pages fully colored, but some pictures don't ask a lot of glitter. So this is a sneak peek for November, by the way. So I did this one this month. This is also a fun one. I tried to do some shading and I added a black line around the shading, so it gives a very fun look. Also, I did the same thing around the image and some glitter glue as well. So the blue is glitter glue. The next one is this one. It was a color palette. I tried to do some blending, but it wasn't very successful. I cannot blend with alcohol markers. I'm not good at it. So I tried to add a lot of lines and glitter glue to mask my bad transition, I think. I like this one. So you see the difference between when I started and where I am now. So I tried to use a little bit more of detailing. Same here. This was a Pentel Hybrid Duo Metallic. I added also the background. This one was a work in progress. I tried my metallic watercolor paints. I like the effect when it shimmers, but when it doesn't shimmer, I don't like that it is very translucent. So yeah, I'm going to finish this one, but I think I will add a lot of things in the background as well to mask a little bit of the transparency. But this is a lot of glitter, so this is a work in progress. This was a body color, and again I added the stripes in the background. This is metallic paint. I had to do 3 layers of this, so it wasn't transparent. It was a hell, but I like the results. This was alcohol marker with some translucent metallic paint on top. I'm not a fan of this effect, but hey, I tried. Not a fan of this color palette as well, but here I added some metallic watercolor paint as well, so I didn't have to use my gold glitter gel pen, because then it was just empty with the big space. I like the shimmer. This one is my favorite of everything, I think. So I added also the background, the stripes, this thingy. Yeah, I like everything about it. This was a color palette, I think, from Pinterest. This is my all-time favorite, I think. And that's it. Those are my completed pages in Deco Dolls by Karla Magana. And then these are the Patreon pages I did. I think I am a Patreon for 4 months, 4 or 5 months, I think. So the first 2 I did were the, how is this called? Dolls, paper dolls, I think. So I colored everything the same way as I did in my coloring books, and then I laminated them because it were some different pieces, and I'm not a fan of glue and I wanted to preserve them, so I laminated them to use as bookmarks. So those were those 2. This was the first piece I did. This was in April. Oh no, this was April 2022. I am a Patreon page for 6 months. Okay, time flies. This was the first one. Again, I tried some blending with my alcohol markers. This was a better attempt, I think. This was nothing fancy. Gold and glitter gel pen. This was a color palette challenge from iPanda Colors on Instagram. I know that for sure. I used the soft gel crayons in the background, so for that I like to use them quite a lot. Then I did this one. Nothing fancy, just glitter gel pen, alcohol markers, gel pens. Did this one. The same. Did this one. Use some metallic gel pen here. I think I added the squares because I wasn't a fan of the big one just on the back. Here I tried to use the scribbling Karla uses for her backgrounds. I'm not a huge fan of it. When she does it, it's great. When I do it, it's just messy. But these were just, I think, 3 colors. Green and pink. And some glitter glue. Those are the dots. I really like this one because it is very busy and that's what I like. So it is a lot of gel pen, a lot of glitter pen. This is metallic paint in the background. Again, it was a hell to cover, but I think the result is amazing. And the last one I did was from last month. This is, I think, the only page I tried to do with alcohol markers and pencils on top. I saw some great results from other colorists, but I just don't like the process of the pencil on top of alcohol markers on the Karla Magana pages. I like to go wild with glitter and gel pens. This was a little bit too controlled, I think, the word I'm using. So the background is soft gel crayons and I erased some circles and I used a little bit of metallic gel pen in the hair as well and on the stripes. So this is my last Patreon page I did. So those were my completed pages from Karla Magana. If you have any further questions, please ask. If you would like to do a body color in one of these books, I'm happy to. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.